Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Hopefully you're all doing fantastic today. I am trying to do fantastic. It's been a pretty rocky week for all of us, and we have been expecting, something to happen for crypto. But this further proves my point of entering a bear market. And last time we did get a comment that my prediction is wrong. That, I said we're going to get bullish constellation and go back up. But I did also tell you guys that don't take this for granted. I did say that there's so many factors and nodes that we are entering a bear market phase. And that's exactly what happened. So we're going to check XRP prices, it's unfortunate to see. Like, you can't change much from that. I'm here on 2bit right now today. And as you can see, I did do some trades. Let me show you position history yesterday. And unfortunately, we did not do well on our challenge. This was absolutely a disaster because as the sideways trading happens, this is the worst way you want to be trading, right? You do not want to see this ever. You don't want to see everything red and then like, yes, I'm positive $8 here, but everything else I have been wrong, which is not terrible. You can join me in link description below. Like $8 is awesome, but then you can see the challenge here. It's not working well. So I'm going to open a trade today, and honestly, I am fearing this is going to be another pattern to be bearish, honestly. Why? Because we have not seen any sort of confirmed updates for the markets to be better at this point. It's been an absolute disaster for XRP, right? Because last time I said we literally need to see better price points if we want to see XRP go up. And we unfortunately did not see that. We did not see that at all. We did not see anything positive for XRP. So there's two scenarios here. Either we go further downtrend, we're breaking all the resistances and just find a new low. So this can definitely happen. As you can see over here, this is something that I was not expecting to happen. But it just, right now we're in January. Most of the super peaks that we see, these super cycles for crypto, do happen in, for example, November. Let's look at January 2026. Like, we saw a small peak, but then when you zoom out, check when was the cycle, and you see that's around December or November. So anyone calling for a big rally needs to be aware of where to go in and where to go out. So really, really important is that usually during November times, that's when we're really going to start to see some massive rallies. And as you can see over here, July was a pretty nice time for Bitcoin to beat, but it was really during the elections that XRP saw this movement. Now I fear that some correction phases are definitely bound to happen. I'm not sure how bad, because it really depends on macro news. And with macro news, it's really like this. Yes, we are positive now for XRP. And I'm here on 2bit, guys. If you want to join me, link in the description below, and I'll keep you guys updated with my trades live. So I am hopeful that right now we can time in the market and short it properly because it has been just consolidating. This is the worst thing you can see in crypto, honestly. Why is it the worst thing you can see in crypto? Because we are not expecting this at all. Like, this is a place where you can't make money, where you can't make trades, you can't do nothing except to wait and see until you see something better. So like, obviously it's trying to build back up, but immediately it's just people are taking profit, and every time we see a small spike, people are too afraid to buy it as well. So right now it's trading between these two ranges. Bam, let's check. It's trading between what's this, 1.55 and 1.15. These are the main two core ranges that it's trading at, and until then, I mean, it's just gonna go for a steady downtrend. It could even go up a bit, until we see like something change. But again, what's gonna happen for it to push it forward, like to push it higher, right? We don't know. We literally don't know what's gonna like make it push it higher. So we're entirely dependent on the markets that will happen in the future, which I know it is unfortunate. But guys, if you want to get started trading on 2bit, you can use the link description below to get a free XRP trading bonus. So my strategy right now is we could be trading between these two ranges. I don't think it will go below 1.29 and then or 1.32. If you want to play on the safe area, I think 1.32 is where it really builds that resistance level. So 1.32 until it builds back some momentum, and then it could go for lower lows. Literally. Because it obviously just shows me in the last day that it's not building enough highs. And I'm hopefully wrong. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a position on 2bit. So again, if you guys want to join me, you're welcome to. And we're going to take 3% stop loss, and we're going to take a take profit of 10%. Which is pretty important, and do the mark price 3 and 10. And you know, I think it's a great idea what we're seeing here. The issue is there is nothing like really stopping us from seeing another disaster waiting to happen. So what I'm wondering, do we have the stop loss set up? 3 and 10. We do have open orders, so yes, we do have that. Actually, we have double open orders here. But you can kind of see what's happening here is the same patterns we were already seeing before, just repeating itself. Literally, it's one of the worst ways you can go for crypto, where people are like, this is cool, but nothing really happens to change it. And it just feels kind of sad for XRP just to see what it used to be. It used to be at 2.41, and now we're gonna short it down to 1.33. What do you guys think? Because I personally think that, yeah, XRP, I warned many guys at 1.86. It's an amazing thing, but right now it's a disaster that we're seeing something like that. So I'm definitely excited if we see some more of a bull run rally, but nothing confirms that we're going to 3.66 for XRP right now. Like, look at that. These prices, oof, they hurt. They definitely hurt. Now, we do have another one right now that a lot of people have not been talking about, and that is Bitcoin. Like, what's happened in the last day for Bitcoin is we were talking about a slow constellation, and this is just not enough volume to judge the data. If we look at the 4-hour charts here, however, what we see is a pretty clear pattern that I was explaining to you guys. I do think Bitcoin is going to build a slight momentum, but don't expect back to 100K. So I am worried for Bitcoin that suddenly, like, a lot of people have been saying, okay, now we're going back 100K, right? 150K. And I asked them, like, how do you know we're getting back if we just had one of the biggest market crashes, right? And there is no way. It is a terrible thing that's happening even with like Bitcoin overall. We need to go shortly, move ranges up higher to 78,000, but until then we're going to be trading between these two ranges. As you can see, it's slowly building up this momentum level. Now, the issue I have with XRP and USDT price analysis for Bitcoin is if I'm, longing Bitcoin, I should also long XRP. Because, they're so tied together. XRP is really at those stages of early adoption that if XRP goes up, it does not mean Bitcoin will go up, but vice versa applies. If Bitcoin goes up, you can bet that XRP is going to go up. And also, that's like a double-edged sword, because if Bitcoin goes down, XRP will also go down. So what I'm trying to say with my Bitcoin price analysis over here is, yes, it is still building momentum. And I'm quite worried because I am less bullish than I was before. I think the patterns of the momentum building, what we saw before for Bitcoin, I was much, much more bullish on it. Like, I saw these candles today, and these are very weak candles. You can obviously see that the patterns, like how much whales sell and how much whales buy and retail buys, is very, very different. And it is a scary factor to see for sure. So where could we go off from here? Well, we could be trading in the sidelines. Again, for Bitcoin, it could be the same story. We have to listen to the market and what the traders are saying. And after they took a huge profit after 62,000 to 71,000, you can see here, now we're at 71,000. And again, whales are taking profit from 67,000 to 71,000. They're making money, they're making profit, they're making revenue until they're waiting for the next big news for crypto. You know, they're hoping Super Bowl is going to happen, that something is going to save them. But it just feels like another 2022 scenario. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart, 1-day chart. So if we look at 2022, or let's say even 2023 scenario, you can see exactly what happened. Every time we had a rally from 32,000, we saw a big market crash to 25,000 until we were slowly building back up, right? Over the last few years, we slowly built back up. And that's what's a really important factor here for me. This just shows me that, you know, all of this that the whales have been building, 25,000 to 125,000, there's a lot of profit taking for these whales to start slowly dumping the market. So in my personal opinion, and again, I could be totally wrong here, I could be stop lossed here. I'd rather have a stop loss and be wrong. For Bitcoin, I think a short-term rally is correct. Like last time, like someone was saying me, I'm wrong. I was wrong by calling it. I think this is going to be a short-term rally. I don't know if back to 100,000. Nothing shows that we're back in like the perfect markets. But I think we're still a long way ahead from 125,000 Bitcoin. And I think this could be like I wouldn't call it a bear winter, but I would call it, for example, the markets being a bit more tough at this point. So the markets being a bit more sketchy, as in it's a bit more cold. It's not going to be so easy for altcoins. Altcoins got absolutely destroyed. And as you can see, the gains are there. But for now, I mean, Bitcoin is going to try to basically build back up. So I'm going to do a reversal here for XRP USDT. And the reason why I'm doing a reversal for my trade, just as I built it, is because I'm also going to open a long on Bitcoin. Because I believe it's going to go back to 78,000, go back to these ranges. We're going to check back tomorrow. Where is it going to go, right? So if it's between those ranges, that's where it's possibly better. So let me do that like 50%. For example, 14% take profit. And now we have a long for XRP. If you guys want to join me, you can join in the link description below. And we're going to open also a trade here of $300 with a 5x leverage for a long for Bitcoin. The reason why we're taking such a big trade, for example, 200 here, that's a very, very big trade we're taking, is because I do believe that a proper like reversal here is in order. Not a huge reversal, don't get me wrong, but just a small reversal that will really bring us back in crypto stronger today. So what I personally think is 125,000, we're not going to be seeing it for some months. And you can see these red candles every time we try to push back higher. 21st of November, we saw a massive drop. And then suddenly 28th of January, we're still 90,000, like people were joking around, and now we suddenly dropped to 70,000. We dropped 20k Bitcoin prices. It's starting to get worrying. And I fear, my personal theory, it's a kind of crazy, but my personal theory why this is happening is because what happened is a lot of traders got liquidated on 10th of October, 11th of October, whatever was the time zone for you. And when they got liquidated, they just stopped using crypto. That's my personal opinion. So what we're seeing now is, you can see my 2 longs open on 2bit right now, which you can join. There's even a competition here for 2bit La Liga, which they just partnered up. So I'll leave the link in the description below, which you can register and get your free, bonus to trade XRP and Bitcoin. Is that, yeah, it is, I think this like big sale from one of the whales or institutions have actually started the bear market, which nobody wanted to see. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. So if we go back to the price analysis here, a lot of different people have a lot of different opinions on what the prices should be. I should open a trading bot on the Bitcoin as well, and set up like taking profit, because I do think it will be trading between 78,000 and 80,000 is when institutions will sell again, until we drop lower, because like we still have a long way to go. There's nothing showing us that we're going, back to all-time highs, which keeps me very, very worried. Nothing showing that, this is going to improve. So where? Like, this is the issue. Like, I get a lot of comments, people asking me, hey, we're going to go back higher. Imagine if we go back to 150K. And it's literally like people who never traded in their life. Unfortunately, they don't know what's happening. They don't understand. And it's sad to see. To see the markets like that. But yeah, for me, I personally think the retail is still far gone. Hey there, from Canada, welcome. So overall, I think, just to conclude, I might sound like repeating myself from yesterday. I did not call for a bear market yesterday, but I did see that Bitcoin is trying to push up higher. Will this get rejected? Possibly. I definitely think that this Bitcoin rally that we're seeing right now is just a very, very small dip. And if we saw like a full-on rally, you would know, you would hear it everywhere. But we don't. So for now, all I can say is that, good luck to Bitcoin, good luck to XRP. I'll keep you guys updated with more news, and smash that like button. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below.